For a second, I felt like a rock star, but I'm not. You can look at me. I'm a Sardar from India. I have nothing to do with rock. The only thing I do with rock is throw stones at people when they make fun of me. Coming to the presentation. Cooking with Twitter. The theme for this presentation is cooking, right? And confession time, I'm the worst cook out there. I can't even boil an egg, right? If my wife was here and she would see this presentation, she would be laughing her ass off on the floor right now. She's like, this guy can't even boil water, forget about boiling an egg, and he's giving a talk based on cooking as a theme. So, but it has relevance to the topic I'm going to talk about, right? Most of you, I'm assuming here are young. I've seen some bald heads as well, not so young, entrepreneurs coming out in the open, making a pitch to change the world in your little ways. And I've seen those 30 pitches that happened. There were some good presentations and some not so good presentations. And you know, one of the things that you need to stand out is you need to sell yourself before you can sell your startup and you can sell your product. If you yourself are not representing your own brand that you've created, and at the end of the day, the startup is the one or two founders that have come together, and the people who start the company reflect the product, because your ethos, your background helps you make the decisions about the product, the UI, the sales channel, everything, all these decisions you make as a startup come from a context of where you were before this, right? You suddenly do not become a Steve Jobs. He became a Steve Jobs over the years he grew up. The experiences have molded him to take those decisions that he did, right? Similarly, the experiences of what you have gone through all those years leading to this moment of starting up yourself, reflect who you are. So if I were to be, brave enough to give any advice, learn to sell yourself first before you can sell your startup or your product to anyone else. And a great example of that is this company that I'm just going to show a quick video about, right? This is, looks like an American and is an American, right? And, I work for a social media company called Twitter. And just because I work on Twitter doesn't mean I'm a social media expert. So please don't send me proposals, and don't ask me to verify your account. I don't. Even Dick Costello's account is not verified, right? So please don't send me verification requests. But learn from this guy. He is the CEO of a startup. This video was made before he actually came out to the world and they launched his startup. People had no idea what this company was all about. He created a television campaign which was not released on TV. It was released on YouTube. This campaign has 17 million views. 17 million views since its launch. And this product is disrupting the industry it is in. Just take a listen.
Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
All right. So you get the idea. CEO of a startup, just like a lot of you, had no marketing budget. No one has heard of this company before. Crafted this video over months of work. This is not happening overnight. He worked on every single word that was spoken in this video. Any word that was superfluous and did not add value to the video was edited, right? And then he released it on YouTube. Zero marketing spend, 17 million views, disrupting the industry. The company is valued over billions of dollars right now, the Dollar Shave Club. And he's now using social media his Twitter account to do real-time queries to the users who come and applaud him largely for disrupting the industry that they were sucked on with Gillette and the others. The other thing from a social media perspective, and you guys who are trying to scale up globally and use marketing resources, unfortunately, if you're not a big startup today, you don't have the budgets to do television, print, and the other advertising. and you're left with barrels of social media, leveraging the earned credits that you have, either using a Facebook account, the Twitter, WhatsApp, and the others out there. If there's one thing I will tell you about social media across the platform, not just Twitter, learn to leverage moments on social media. Learn to leverage moments in life. Forget social media, right? And I'll give you some examples of how brands have done it. Just remember these words. There are moments happening right now where your brand can become part of the conversation and ride that viral wave that is going to happen tomorrow, right? And I will just show you some examples of how we do it. Just incidentally, on Twitter itself, 1 billion tweets are sent every 2 days. So there are 1 billion moments ready to be explored by you guys to become part of the conversation and usurp the conversation. Here is a moment that happened a few months ago, a short video, and I will then talk about how to leverage these moments. The reason I showed this video is because I fucking love it, right? And besides the fact, it hits home the point. Moments are happening around you all the time, be it locally at this freaking event. And I'll give an example. We're at this awesome conference, startups are here, most of you are tech startups, all of you have apps that need to talk to some part of the cloud. If you're a hosting company, and you're a startup right now, and you're not getting into the conversation and doing hashtag #TSparks, and talking about yourself within that conversation, you're missing out on this moment right now. Because this is a great opportunity to connect to CEOs of 20, 40, 50 startups without actually having to go in person and exchange business cards, right? That's a moment, and that's what happens on Twitter and on every other medium that happens. A moment that happened, right? This guy bit his shoulder because he was hungry or whatever reason, right? But how do brands and companies like you, who may have no budget today, become part of the conversation? I mean, these companies do have budgets, but they still became part of the conversation. None of these are promoted tweets. These are just tweets. They haven't spent a dime on this, right? Relax, they twist off. Nando's, if you're hungry, why not get your teeth stuck into something really tasty? More is satisfying than Italian. Snickers, right? These are brands getting into the moment at the point when that moment happens on the platform, be it on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever it is, right? Epic example of how a brand, the Super Bowl happens in the US every year, and it's one of the most premium TV advertising markets in the world, the finals of the Super Bowl. And Americans are not used to load shedding, but we are. The lights went out at the stadium, complete darkness. The big brands like Ford has spent billions of dollars in TV advertising, had no clue what to do. Oreo had spent $0 in NFL advertising. They came up with this ad saying, you can still dunk in the dark. Right? This got more mentions, retweets, and it went across Twitter to Facebook and the other platforms, top of mind, higher than most TV advertising that was spent. That's called getting into the moment. Let's say, simple example, a friend of mine, she was at one of the airports in India, and she's like, the age-old question, should I take a beer or not before a flight? Carlsberg, India, replied back to her, unless you're the captain of this plane, go for it, right? This is how you become part of the conversation. You are part of the moment. Another example, this lady is playing tic-tac-toe. Kit Kat comes and places this thing, and says, we challenge Oreo to this. Oreo comes and eats the Kit Kat and says, your turn, right? Brands talk to each other. There are things that are happening on these platforms and these media movements that are happening where you can become a part of the conversation and ride the wave. Be part of the conversation that is contextual to your business, to your being, right? Finally, I'll end with this. Make your own omelette. Make your own recipe. There is no one, I mean, I don't think anybody can stand here and say, you know, this is how, like the Kuttiyapa guy was saying, I don't know how to make things viral. It just happens, right? Shit happens. You know, there are 1,000 startups every day. 999 might fail. Nobody can tell you why that one guy succeeded. But you have to be unique. If you're going to follow a template, I just read this amazing quote. If all of us read all the popular books at the same time, we will have the same thoughts. Do something different. You have to be unique to stand out in this crowded place. Thank you very much for your attention.